company for over 8 years now. And my color personality. I believe that I'm a red, but I'm told I'm a yellow. So I'm probably orange. Yeah.
Okay, so you are you're a Canada native. That had to be fun when Canada opened, right?
Yoo-hoo, Canada!
Okay, so since this is a party panel, why don't you tell us what one of your first parties looked like? What did a first party for Carla Burns, Ambassador Diamond, look like? Take us back there.
Well, you were there.
And I try to block it out on a regular basis, so.
Okay, so remember, this is 8 years ago, and we hadn't streamlined everything. And I was formerly a registered nurse, and I love and still love all of our products. So, at my first party, we had a great turnout, actually. At my party, we had like 20-some people came, and they were super excited. But what was funny is I felt like we had to tell them everything. All the products that we had, all the ingredients, what it did. Yeah, our part, it was probably 2 hours. Yeah.
Well, and I just have to tell on you a little bit because Carla had a party and I was super excited. Carla lived in this like $500,000 home in one of the nicest neighborhoods in our area. This was really sponsoring up for me. And she's like, I'm gonna have a party, invite all my girlfriends over. They all came over and we signed a handful of customers. But then the second, third, fourth party, the same people all showed up, the second, third, and fourth party. I mean, we just like, I'd be like, we're having the same party, the same people. Is there anybody else? Do you know anybody else? And we kept having parties with the same people, but they were very supportive and very friendly. But I agree because when you would give every ingredient on every product, I would be like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I don't know this much. I was so intimidated and scared just doing parties with you, Carla. So I'm glad that the light bulb went off for you there.
It definitely went off. One day Pam was with me, and I was explaining to someone how the wrap works, and I was really explaining it in full detail. And later, she took me aside and she said, "What are you doing?"
Well, that's like when Denise Walsh said she introduced herself as a clinical psychologist that sells wraps, rather than a former clinical psychologist, now a wrap star, you know? So even though you have all that background and knowledge, the power is that anybody can do this. So Sarah, tell us a little bit about your background and how you learned all about this crazy wrap thing.
Hi guys, I'm Sarah Rankin. I am a blue. Yeah, I love my blues. We're all blue girls and guys. So I was a former personal trainer, and a woman walked into my gym with a Blitz card, and she said, "There's a sticker, and it tightens, tones, and firms in 45 minutes." And I kind of laughed at her. I was like, okay, there's the door. I know, there's always something. You know, people are coming into the gym all the time trying to sell you something. And so I just kind of shoot her out the door, but 2 weeks went by and I just couldn't shake it. What if this thing really did work? And if it didn't, I couldn't wait to tear it apart and put it all over Facebook and warn all my friends, like, stay away from this. So I called her, I tried the wrap. I needed to put it on, I needed to feel it, I needed to see it, I needed to take the pictures. And we saw results the first wrap, Josh saw results the first wrap, and the rest is history. We've been here ever since.
And I'm so glad you joined the team. When you came into the business, Team Toledo was like the talk of the town. And I remember people would come from Grand Rapids 3 hours to Toledo with me because we had no idea that people that were so excited about the wrap, they'd actually line up around the building to hear about it. And it was like blowing our minds. We'd never seen anything like it. But let's go back and try to take us back into what one of your first parties looked like. I think I was there, right?
No, you were not. No sponsor. No guests either. Nobody showed up. It was all alone. So I had a party the next day. This is tacky, but I went to Hooters and blitzed the girls.
Mike, that was not in our plan.
Okay, so I went.
You went to a restaurant.
Scantily clad dress restaurant, and I blitzed some of the girls, and 2 of them showed up that night. But they were not interested in hearing my spiel. They didn't want to know about being a loyal customer, nothing. They were like, here's $25, put it on me, we've got a party to go to. And so that's what it was. I made $50, and I was like, well, that was cool.
Hey, rep cash.
Right. So I had a party the third night, and 4 people showed up. I actually had blitzed the girl at a tanning salon. When nobody showed up, I knew it wasn't because the product wasn't wanted. It was because the people that I knew in my network they were the same way as I was. They were skeptical, like when I started. So I went out blitzing and ended up having my first successful wrap party with a girl that I met who's now about to be my triple diamond. And yeah, so it's exciting.
Keep pushing through. I love it. All right, well, Tiffany Pasek, let's hear from you for a minute. And the way you looked at Nathan, I was like, oh wait, are we supposed to go to Nathan?
I don't know if they're sharing our mic. That's all right.
He's a man, he needs his own.
What if I have something really important to say all of a sudden?
It's all good.
Okay, so Tiffany, tell us a little bit about you. What was your experience, or what appealed to you about this crazy rap thing?
Well, I'm a purple, so I love to have fun. My rule on my card is, I wrote this one out, number one rule, have fun. But when we started at Works, we were really at the worst time in our life financially. We'd been in network marketing for years prior in other companies, and when I got pregnant, I just wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So I stopped working, and at that time, we didn't know that the economy was going to crash. And so literally, we were in denial, I think, of how bad it was. And then after about a year of us really stressing about business, my husband had traditional business, and everything that we worked so hard for in network marketing pretty much was gone. And so when I walked into this, I was like, a party company? Like, I've never done parties. You know, we always edify people. So I love edifying people. And I thought, how can we do this? And then I realized the rap really was our expert, just edifying that. And you, of course. So you came to my first party.
Yep.
Cami came, I did a double because she was a couple hours away. I said, well, if I do like an afternoon for my moms who have to do kid activities after school, let's do a 1 o'clock, and then we did an evening one. And I had 4 people show up at my afternoon, so I got my first 4 customers that time. And then the evening, all of my good friends bailed. And I had 1 person that showed up at my party that evening out of 8. But that one girl was a referral of a girl. And today, that girl is a double diamond in our business with doubles and triples and presidentials, and he has a multi-million-dollar business.
Nathan and I, we were former teachers, and it's crazy to think there might be people in here that haven't heard our story. You think we got so many other stories to hear, but that's just, we're growing so fast. And when Nathan and I first joined at Works, it was because we had a new little baby, and our desire when we were dating was to to keep me home while our kids were young. My mom stayed home with me, his mom stayed home with him, and so we wanted to create that same environment for our family. But times have changed since when our moms were raising us, and we needed to supplement our income. And for me, I had never sold anything other than Girl Scout cookies. I was a brownie. And I'd had a few lemonade stands at some of my mom and dad's garage sales. So other than that, I had no experience. And this was our solution. And I was very intimidated about it. For those of you that don't know, Mark and Cindy Pentecost are my mom and dad. I joined the business 3 times. The 3rd time was a charm. That's when it stopped, and that was when, and it still took me 6 months to sign 1 distributor. But I think when the rap worked, and when we didn't have we just didn't see anything else out there that was better, that's when Nathan was like, honey, I think you need to sell the Fat Patch.
That's exactly what I said, too. For me, it was the freedom. When this really started kicking down the door for us, Cami was already home on her 2nd year sabbatical, 1st year sabbatical. And you know how you work for the weekend? I mean, you work for the weekend. And Sunday was actually the worst day of the week for me. I had a stomach ache all day Sunday because I was just so done teaching. I was burnt out. You know, I'd given it 7 good years, but it was so clear to me that I needed to be done. And there was no plan B at that point. This became the plan B. So what this has brought for us, obviously, is a blessing in the finances, but it's brought freedom. Every day is a Saturday now. You know, I honestly do not know what day of the week it is. I was golfing with a couple of guys sometime this week, and they were picking on me because I didn't know what day it was. If Cami and I needed to take a day off, we could do that. If we needed to take a week off right now, we could do that. If we needed to take 30 or 60 days off, we can do that. And you can't do that as teachers. So,
okay, so Real quick, tell us what one of your first parties looked like, because I think, you know, there's a lot of couples out there that party together. Nathan and I, we don't party together. We look as